Once again, everybody, I'm Ken Roye, Chairman of Community Reintegration Consulting, and also will work with Breaking the Cycle. I am extremely passionate about what I do, how I do it, and why I do it. So the very first thing I need to do, and this is something that, when I actually met Damien going through organization training, community organizing training in Akron, and sometimes I get a little too passionate about it. So I'm gonna knock that chip off my shoulder, okay? But I've been through a lot. And it's difficult. I've been through pretty much every situation that's been named here. I've been the person that's been in the interview, that's gotten hired, that's gotten the hiring packet, only and disclosed my background, only to have gotten the call back after I've already gotten a start date, and then tell me that, okay, well, we can't hire you because of your background. I've been in a situation where I went into an interview and aced the interview. I interviewed with an engineer. I have a long manufacturing background. I was a jet engine mechanic in the United States Air Force, Desert Storm veteran. I interviewed with an engineer. The engineer was so impressed, he took me to the next office and introduced me to his boss. He walked me around the entire facility. It was a brand new facility. He said, you know what? You're going to be able to help us set up our workflow model because I am also have my Six Sigma green belt. I have 2 degrees. And we went back to the engineer's office, and he said, you know what? Well, this is pretty much a done deal. I just need 2 things from you. I need to do a urine test, a drug test. I said, hey, bring it on. He said, and we have to do a background check. And I said, okay, well, that's fine, but, and I wanted to fully disclose my background and let them know, hey, before you do a background check, I do have a felony on my background. This is what it is. This is the disposition of the case. This is what I've done since then to better myself. And he turned to me and he said, you know what? I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to rescind the offer of employment to you. And I have this chip on my shoulder because I have to wear this scarlet letter. Because basically what these people are telling me is that I don't have the right to take care of myself. I don't have the right to take care of my family. I don't have the right to live in our community. I don't have the right to do any of these things. I have 3 kids. I have a daughter in college. Is she supposed to suffer because I made a mistake? I have a son in high school that he's a junior, and not a junior in high school. He's Kenneth Roye Jr. And he had run into some issues at school, and they ran his name, and because it's the same as mine, my background came up. And they wanted to arrest my 14-year-old son for the things that I had done. And that was probably the hardest day of my life. Because my son came to me and said, Dad, you know what, when I'm 18 and I'm old enough to legally do it, I think I'm going to change my name. and my heart sank. And I stand here before you today on the verge of tears because I don't want anyone else to have to continue to go through the things that I go through on a daily basis.
That's right.
Because I myself, like Damon so eloquently stated, I'm an ambassador for everybody that comes out behind me, and all the people that have gone before me, and all my contemporaries that are out here doing the work that we're doing to try and make sure that returning citizens just get an equal opportunity. This is bigger than myself. So like I said, I don't do this for me, but for the people in this room that know me, for the people in this room that have seen me in action, whether it's been good or bad, it's all done with a purpose. And it's all done out of love. I don't want anybody to have to feel what I felt when my oldest daughter told me that, you know what, Dad, I think I'm going to go to law school. And I said, oh, well, that's great, sweetheart. Why? And she was like, yeah, because I think somebody has to keep you out of trouble. And yeah, I can laugh at it now, but it wasn't quite so funny when it happened. It wasn't funny when my son told me that he didn't want to be Kenneth Roye Jr. What would you do to take care of your family? What would you do to pay your child's college tuition? What would you tell your son when he told you that he doesn't want to be associated with the name that he was given? Most people don't know what to do with that, and they return to the life that got them in trouble in the first place. And I refuse to do that. And I refuse to allow the people around me to do that. So, therein lies the crux of this program, the real meat and potatoes of what we're talking about. These are people's lives that are at stake. People's futures that are at stake. People aren't to be cast aside. And I wonder on a daily basis, what am I going to do? What am I going to do to pay this tuition? My daughter goes to Walsh University. It's not like she chose the public university down the street. It's $30,000 a year. What am I going to do? My son plays every sport known to man. How do I afford equipment for each and every sport? We have football equipment now. Basketball tryouts are starting. Then track is coming around. Then football workouts in the summer and this and the third. And he's growing out of control and he eats everything that's not nailed down. How do I provide for them?
I witnessed the eating part.
Right. How do I explain to my youngest child what my older two already know? She doesn't understand that about Daddy. Daddy is still the greatest thing in the world to her. But how do I explain to her that to society, Daddy's probably the worst thing in the world? She doesn't understand that. Not at 10 years old. So there has to be some type of human element, some type of emotion that we get past these blanket policies and we start realizing that 90+% of the people that are sentenced to prison time are coming home. And Damien can attest to that. There aren't many lifers. It's definitely less than 10%. So I know 90+ at some point in time are going to return to society. And we're basically telling those people that, you know what, when you get back here, we don't have anything for you. And funny thing is, about 3 months after I got home, my sister called me. She was in Arizona. And she said, well, you know what? How does it feel to be home? And all I could say to her was about the same. The only difference is I don't have to go sit on my bed 3 times a day for count. But that was really the only difference, because I'm still being treated the same way. So let's all try to make a difference from whatever side of the fence you sit on. Everybody doesn't have my experience. There are resources here. There are employers here. But each of us can make a difference. And I'm going to stand up and do my part, and I'm going to continue to do my part. And if anybody needs a resource, needs a program, needs programming, needs referrals, needs anything that I can be of assistance with, I'm more than willing to do that for that very reason. Because I don't, like I said, I'm not making the big bucks off of this. Heck, I can't even get a job. And that's really what being honest on the applications and being honest in interviews has gotten me. But I'm going to end because I wrap this up. But I really implore everyone here to reach into that part of yourself and give somebody else an opportunity. Give them an opportunity to do the same things that you do for your family and with your family. Give them the same opportunities for housing, for employment, for health care, for all the things that we as returning citizens don't get the benefit of. And I want to thank all of you for coming out. And with that, I close. Thank you.